Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. Hey, what's up everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG. And yeah, you know me. I love me some Time Spiral Remastered. So today we're going to do a Time Spiral Remastered box battle. How this thing is going to work. We're going to crack this thing open. We have 6 participants. Each one of them is going to get 6 packs. We're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up to the mana values for all the rares, mythics, and time-shifted cards. And at the end of this thing, the person with the highest total mana value and the person with the lowest total mana value are each going to get one Edge of Eternity's collector pack to go along with their other spoils. In the event of a tie, we will take the highest mana value mythic as the first tiebreaker, the highest mana value rare as the second tiebreaker, and if we need a third tiebreaker, maybe we'll have a piting contest, perhaps a jousting contest. Or we will simply go down the line with the highest mana value rare until we have a tie. No more. All right. TSR. We're on a streak. Shouldn't even say these words out loud, but we have yet... Oh, I'm gonna say it in a more positive way. We have opened up at least one foil time shifted rare in every box that we have ever opened of TSR to this point. Famous last words, I know. But we're gonna try and keep that streak alive today and hopefully pull some other fun goodies along the way. TSR, man. This set, I think, is I've said it since I returned to Magic in 2019. I think it's still my favorite. Although, like, there's been some that have really challenged that for me because there's some sets that have come out in the last couple years that I really, really enjoyed. And there's one set, and I know this is going to be a unpopular comment for some, but a set that I'm really excited about for next year, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I get it, you know, Universe is Beyond, not for everybody. Smallest, it's going to be another small set. We'll see how that works out. But as I said before, like, some people have G.I. Joe, other people had Power Rangers, some people had Thundercats, Voltron, and I enjoyed all those things. But for me, it was always TMNT. That is like my childhood right there. So, anyways, that's way down the line. Let's do some TSR. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everyone. Let's have some fun. Away we go. Seth, start us off. Done enough of these. We're going to skip past the uncommons and commons for the most part. There are a couple of really good uncommons in there. All right. We're going to start off with a Mangara of Corindor. That is a 3. Our time shifted card is in a Harvester of Souls. So probably this is a more traditional product, right? So even though this comes out post collector boxes, like collector boxes were already a thing, this is very much in the vein of old school MTG boxes. You're probably getting about 4 mythics per box. Foils are special. You can already see we did not, it's not one foil per pack or anything like that. You do get one time shifted card, and the big draw is that you probably get about 1 to 2 foil rares per box, and then the hope is that you get at least one foil time shifted card. So those are the big draw. Ooh, we have our first mythic, and it's a really good one. That is Gemstone Caverns. Very, very nice. Fell off a little bit post this sort of soft reprint, if you will. Zealous Conscripts, very nice in Edge of Eternities, but still a banger. I still think it's in like the $40 region. It was like 50 plus at one point. That is certainly one of the mythics you hope to see. Other notable mythics that you would want to see: Sliver Legion and Akroma's Memorial, Damnation. After that, the mythics start to get pretty soft. There's 15 in the set. So, I mean, for legitimately 4 or 5 of those to be really good is still pretty good average. The problem is like the bottom 7 or 8 of them are pretty bad at this point. Harmonic Sliver. Rare is Jaya Ballard, Task Mage. And then a Knight of the Reliquary. It looks like we do have a foil. It is a foil rare. Ooh, sudden spoiling. Y'all know me. And for those of you who don't, I love Split Second. I still love that the traditional, like, they did the pre and post split second. Love that, man. Love that a lot. All right, well, Seth, not a bad showing. So 3, still 3, 6, 9, plus 5, 14, 20, 23. Let me run that back. 6, 9, 5, 14, 17, 20, 23 it is. With the Gemstone Caverns right out of the gate as well. Very, very nice. Okay. Some good stuff. I'm surprised. Like, I was checking on Big Red. We go to you. Chalice of the Void recently is in this set as a time-shifted card, and the foil time-shifted version still holds a pretty nice premium, I think at like 90, but a base Chalice, very nice Simian Spirit Guide, but a base Chalice of the Void, I think it's like $13. Like a really good time to pick up Chalices, because those cards used to be, what, triple, quadruple what they're running now? Here we go. Little Smallpox. Rare is Sarah Avenger, very iconic art. And Kasali Pride Mage after that, sure. Yawgmoth is time shifted. Thoughtseize is time shifted. Kiki Jiki is time shifted. So those are some other notables. The most valuable rare in this set is still Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, which is like running like 45. So wouldn't mind seeing one of those. Greater Gargadon, the Battle Shifter. That is a 10-4 mana value. And Treasure Cruise, 8-4 mana value. Hello. We've done a lot of TSR on this channel, as you could probably have guessed right now, if you know, even if you're tuning in for the first time. One of the things we really enjoy about and why we come back to this product as far as battles are concerned, it makes for some really, really fun stuff, because there's a lot of lands in there between the time shifted cards and then the rares in the set. So you've got a lot of zeros in there, but then you have like delve cards and the Greater Gargadon, so you can have some huge swings, which makes for a good time. All right, Whip, Spine Drake, Whip, Aeon Chronicler, that's a 5, and then a Monastery Swift Spear. Okay, well, let's see here. 1, 6, 14, 24, 25, 26. Is that a 28? 4, 14, 22, 27, 28 it is. And what do we want to put on top? I don't know. Probably the Sarah Adventure. Sure, why not? Gothix Hero. Here we go. Premature Burial, Croson Grip. The rare is there. We go. It's going to be a good box. We got an Urborg and a Gemstone Cavern already. Very, very nice. Congrats on the super hit. Gothix Hero. That is a 0. Gorenzo after that. I'm going to sleep up the Urborg right away. I know it's not mythic, but yeah, close enough. Sick pull. All right. Second pack. All right. Trump the Domains. Trump the Yard. Sure. Joda's Avenger. Necrotic Sliver. Draining Welk, one of my favorite, like, very casual counter spells to have. Almost dropped the whole pack there. That's a 6. Followed by a Rakdos Charm. Not bad. Looks like we might have a foil. We do. It's another foil rare. How about a second foil rare already? That's Joyra of the Gitu. Joyra is a classic commander. Suspend a bunch of big stuff. Hope that you're still alive when all that stuff starts to come off the suspend. And let the good times roll. All right, third pack. Oh, we haven't hit. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say we haven't hit any mythics yet. Of course we did. Aven Mindset's very expensive prior to the reprint in this set. It was a good time for this reprint. Harmonize, very nice. Cryptic Annelid, oh, another mythic. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. That is Damnation. Still pretty. I mean, gosh. I'm gonna go on a diatribe here in a second. Read the Bones. Foil? No foil. So one of the things I love about TSR is that it, for me, is also a nostalgia piece, because one of the times, or the time I was probably playing the most in Magic was when Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight came out. And Planar Chaos came out, and it kind of turns the color pie on its head, right? We got Pyrohemia, which is like the red pestilence. We got a red Achroma. And the thing that was like crazy was getting a black Wrath of God. Back then, pre-releases weren't like play at your local game store. They were like, you were getting maybe 3 to 4 sets a year. So it was like you drive to like a major location, to like a Los Angeles or whatever. And that was where the pre-release event was held. And I still remember sitting down for Planar Chaos and people cracking open their their packs, and somebody pulling a Damnation and just letting out this like roar of like this loud cheer. That's how crazy this was. And yeah, there you go. Little story time. Damnation still holds up well, but man, oh man, the Black Wrath of God of Planar Chaos. Sure, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18, 20, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 20 it is. I think I'm technically supposed to put the Urborg on top, but feels rough to bury Damnation. All right, down home. Well, that was the thing with like Time Spiral, and one of the reasons like that and the original Lore One block are, I mean, we had blocks of sets, right? Set blocks back then, and then Time Spiral, very, very cool with suspend cards, Planar Chaos, tilting the color pie into different directions, and then Future Sight with the Future Sight frame. Like, to me, that was innovation in Magic, right? Like, that was true innovation. 3 sets working together cohesively that introduced new mechanics, but were doing really cool and kind of like, I mean, sort of pseudo pun intended, futuristic things. All right, Riptide Pilferer, Shivan Meteor. Rare is Felonite Hermit, that's a 4. Followed by a Zulaport Cutthroat, which is a 2, and that will do it there. For the record, this is a really fun set to draft as well. Arcblade, Salt Crested Step. Rebuff the Wicked, one of those really good uncommons. I think this is up to like $4, $5, $6. Pact O the Titan, a 0 mana spell. Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, and a foil common Fathom Seer. All right, third pack for down home. Dune Rider Outlaw, which is like, what was it, Whirling Dervish? Sudden Shock, Split Second, very good, Mycologist. Rare is Fungus Sliver, followed by Arcades the Strategist, nice. So, 4, 8, 10, still 10, 11, 12, is that a 16? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 16 it is. All right, down home, that puts you in the low for the moment. Then Corbin, we go to you. All right, Mystical Teachings, Premature Burial, Dread Return. Rare is Life and Limb. Prime Time, very nice, don't mind that. Wouldn't mind seeing this as a foil time shifter in the box either. That is really cool. Good old Prime Time. Man, Amulet Titan, still trucking, huh? Just won another Modern event. Amulet Titan's one of those decks that like has survived Modern Horizons 1 through 3, where it's like not necessarily always a tier 1 deck, but pretty much always relevant. Still good. Aven Mind Sensor again. Primal Force Mage. Cauterary Sliver. Rare is Sedge Sliver. That's a 3. Followed by True Name Nemesis. Neat. That's a 3 as well. And next pack. I mentioned Lorwyn. So, ask me if I'm excited about going back to Lorwyn, right? The answer is very excited. Scrib Ranger. Shaper Parasite. Conflagrate. Boom and bust. We count both sides of that. We add them both, so that's an 8 right there. Alesha Who Smiles at Death. Do we have a foil? We have a foil common as Errant Doomsayers. 3 plus 8. That's 11, 14, 17, 23, 27, 6, 10, 13, 16, 24. 27 it is, yeah. 6, 11, 14, 17, 23, 27. Okay, man. Had a bunch of things going through my head at the same time and stopped being able to do math. Good times. All right, Timothy. Then that will put you in the high for the moment with 27. Oh, no, I take that back. Big Red had a 28. All right, the perils of not being able to read your own handwriting. Timothy. All right, Shivan Sandmage, Knight of the Holy Nimbus. Delay, one of my favorite counter spells. Rare is Walk the Aeons. That is a 6, taking turns. Followed by another Read the Bones. That's a 3, and that will do it there. We'll say we've been light on foils so far, huh? I think we've only seen like a couple of foils. A lot of ball game left, but just a quick observation. All right, we've got Phthisis, Storm Entity, Dread Ship Reef. Rare is Reiterate. That is a 3. Good card. Also climbing in value. Waste, that's a 0. And that will do it there. All right, we've got a Mire Boa. Pongify, another strong uncommon. Street Wraith. Rada Heir to Keld as a rare, that's a 2, followed by a Banishing Light as a 3. Do we have a foil? We have a foil common Rift Bolt, which is kind of neat as well. So we have ourselves a 3, 4, 5, still 5, 8, 11, 17, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, still 12, 13, 14, 17 it is. All right, so after the first round, we have Seth with a 23. Big Red in the high with a 28, Goth with a 20, Down Home in the low with a 16, Ven Corbin with a 27, and Timothy pushing for the low with a 17. Into round 2 we go. So we are, what, halfway through the box? Solid, better than solid box so far, but no foil time shifted yet. Typically, you're going to get one of those per box. We've pulled as many as 3, but there are 0 boxes out there. Those feel real bad. We hope to avoid that. Imperiosaur. Rare is Sengir Nosferatu. That is a 5. Followed by an Arch of Orazga. Looks like we have a foil. Foil common is Looter Ilkor after that. Keep it going. All right. Got a Poultice Liver. Yavimaya Dryad. Stone Cloaker. Rare is Miri the Cursed. I love me some Miri. She also makes an appearance in my Indominus Rex Alpha deck. That is a 4. Mortify. And that will do it there. So we have ourselves a 3 plus 4 at 7. Still 7 and a 12, right? 5, 9, 12. Seth, that's going to take you up to, bring you up to a 35. Big Red, you have the high with a 28 coming into this, largely on the back of, what, a Greater Gargadon and a Treasure Cruise. Doing a lot of work. You have the lead by a mana value of 1 coming into this round. How will you add to that? Another Simian Spirit Guide, plus Ancient Grub. Ancient Grub. Saltfield Recluse, Stronghold Rats. Urza's Factory. Rare is Dralnu the Lich Lord, that is a 5. Followed by a Prized Amalgam, which is a 3. And that's going to do it there. Yep. All right. We have seen, what, 2 mythics so far as well, and they've both been bangers between Damnation and Gemstone Cavern. So we should still be live for 1 to 2 more. Sometimes you have a 5 box, but those are a lot less common. Minions Murmurs, pretty good uncommon if you're unfamiliar. Gaia's Anthem. Might of Old Krosa. Rare is sure second Rada, Heir to Keld. Followed by Epic Experiment. All right, 2, 4, 7, and also 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That will bring you up to a 40 for the moment. All right. Okay. Little Enslave. Careful Consideration. Sliversmith. The rare is Pulmonic Sliver. It's a 5. Followed by another Epic Experiment. All right. Looks like we do have a foil. Foil uncommon is Saltfield Recluse. We have pulled 2 foil rares already. Would be less common for us to pull another one, but not unheard of. Like, not totally off the table. Here we go. Pendelhaven Elder, Cloud Cedar, Return to Dust, Mythic. Hey, all right, it's a Chroma Angel of Fury. Not going to be one of the value misses kind of that I was talking about, but I have a love for this card in my heart. Spell can't be countered. Flying Trample, prot white, prot blue, pumpable, and it's got more for some odd reason. So that's an 8, followed by a Field of Ruin. It's a Ruined. Okay, so 8. There's a little bit of fraying on the epic experiment there. Unfortunate. 8, 9, 10. Is that a 15? 5, 6, 7 plus 8 is 15 indeed. That will take you to a 35. We will not be putting the Urborg on bottom. Or on, yeah, below the Chroma. All right, down home. Had the low coming into this round ever so slightly with a 16. We have now seen 3 mythics. For the record, even though a Chroma is not a value proposition as a mythic, I would rather that mythic than a couple of the others in this set. Clockwork Hydra, Dread Return. Rare is Lotus Bloom, kind of an iconic card, right? 0 suspend 3 and then does its Black Lotus thing. It's a 0 mana value. Intangible Virtue, a 2. Pretty good way to go for the low. A 0 and a 2, not the worst. Okay. Salt Blast, Bonded Fetch. Hench Fiend of Ukor. Rare is Angel of Salvation. That is an 8. This is not very low. Followed by Tidehollow Sculler. Very nice. Do we have a foil? Appears we do have a foil. It's a foil uncommon, Cloud Cedar. So for all that, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Brings you to a 28. I'm going to throw the Lotus Bloom on top. Ben Corbin, go back to you. You had a 27. You were 1 below the high coming into this round. You are now currently chasing 13 to tie and 14 to put yourself in the high for the moment. Phantom Worm, Stormfront Riders, Clockwork Hydra, Joyra of the Gitu. Again, that is a 3. Followed by a Beast Whisperer. That's not bad. I don't mind that. And that will do it there. Here we go. Sudden Death. Love me some Split Second. Nightshade Assassin. Darkheart Sliver. Rare is Karavek the Merciless. That is quite a mana value. I think this is my first commander. He was merciless then too. Relentless Rats. Do we have a foil? No foil. All right. So 7, 10, 14, 17, right? 7. That one has a little bit of fraying too. Man, I don't like that. 7, 10, 14, and 17. That will put you into the high for the moment with a 44. Timothy, you had a 17. You are currently 11 below down home for the low. So 10 or less keeps you in the low. 11 puts you at a tie. Above that puts you above the low for the moment. Heading into the last round. Yixila Jailer, pretty good reprint there. Haze of Rage, Fungal Reaches. The rare is Summoner's Pact. Very good. I think the second favorite pact or of the set. The other one being Pact of Negation. That is a 0. Followed by Evolutionary Leap. Do a foil? No foil. All right. So that was a 2 for mana value in that pack. That's a pretty good way to stay in the low. We go with a Spore Sower Thrallid, Brine Elemental, Urza's Factory. Rare Mythic is a rare. It is Sudden Spoiling. Again, love me some Sudden Spoiling. It's a 3. Followed by Teamer Ascendancy, which is a pretty good card. That is also a 3. And no foil. So 3, 6, 7, 8. 8, it is giving you a 25, which does keep you in the low. Heading into the last round now, we have Seth with a 35. We have Big Red with a 40. We have Goth X with a 35. Down Home with a 28. Then Corbin in the high with a 44. And Timothy in the low with a 25. Into the last round we go. It is noteworthy. We are down to 6 packs. We've not seen a foil time-shifted card yet. Good luck, everyone. Let's have some fun. Maybe on the line for one more Mythic as well. Stormfront Riders, Spellburst, Faceless Devourer. Ooh, there's that Mythic. It's Restore Balance. Yep, that's pretty gross. All right, that's a 0. It is a 0, and it is also a Mythic. It is both of those things. Sigil of the Empty Throne, that is a 5. So we add a 5. Gives you a 40 in total. Big Red. You are currently chasing 4 for the high. We have hit 4 mythics, which is usually like the requisite box average, like 3 to 4. Here we go. Keen Sense, Outrider Encore, Utopia Icon, Rare Mythic. It's a rare. It is another Karavec the Merciless. That is 7. That is certainly merciless. All right, that is how are we going to add to it? We add an Ever-Flowing Chalice, which is a 0. Told you, these packs, this box, this product, I should say, can be very, very swingy. That gives you a 47, which does temporarily put you in the high, and I would say at the very least gives you a puncher's chance for the high, keeping it. All right, Gothics, you're to 35. You're 10 above the low, and you're 9 below the high. So you're pretty much sandwiched in the middle at this point. Celestial Crusader, Fury Sliver, Dormant Sliver, Rare Mythic, is a rare. It is Dryad Arbor, that is a 0. Neat. Dryad Arbor is an oldie but a goodie. Followed by a Felden of the Third Path. Looks like we do have a foil. Ooh, it is foil time shifted. Let's go. Bam! Oh, Silence is a good one. Silence is a very good one. I'm happy that we hit a foil time shifted because we were getting close, and I'll save another story time here for the moment, but Silence is a really good one. That is no slouch whatsoever. Huge hit there. Really cool card. Also 4 for mana value in total. It puts you at a 39. Well, I don't know what was going to bury the Urborg. Not many things in the set could. Retroframe Foil Silence is certainly one of them. All right, Gothex, you finished with a 39. You are technically currently in the low at the moment. Down Home. You are at 28. You are 11 below the low, newly set by Gothix Hero. All right, Rough and Tumble, Muck Drub, Firewake Sliver. Rare is Angel's Grace is a good one. That's a 1, by the way. Followed by Disdainful Stroke. Do we have a foil in here? Foil common is Psychotic Episode. So you add a 3. Giving you a 31 and setting the new low. And by the way, Angel's Grace is quite a card as well. That is a very, very good Magic the Gathering card. All right, then Corbin. You are at a 44. You are already above everyone else with the exception of Big Red. So you are chasing 3 mana value. 4 will likely give you the W for the high. 4 mana value. Here we go. Basalt Gargoyle, Rift Wing Cloudscape, Paradise Plume. Back when 4 mana rocks were still somewhat usable. Rare, Felon of Havenwood. That's a 2. Followed by Paradoxical Outcome, which is a 4. Looks like we have a foil as well. It's a foil uncommon Harmonize, which is not the worst thing ever. That's pretty cool. And more importantly for you, 6 mana value will put you at 50 and will likely capture the high for you. Very, very nice. You almost got run down. You had a Karavec and you almost got run down by another Karavec. That's merciless. All right. Timothy, you have a 25. The next low now is Down Home with a 31. So you are 6 below. 5 or less wins you the low outright. 6 goes to tiebreakers. Above 6 will not be good enough today. You start off with a Duskrider Peregrine. Thick-skinned Gobbo. Wipe Away. Rare Mythic. Is a rare. It is draining well. That is a 6. Followed by a Ninja of the Deep Hours. Looks like we have a foil. Foil common is Gossamer Phantasm after that. That is a 10 for mana value. Giving you a 35 and unfortunately taking you out of the low. Pretty solid TSR box. There was a lull in the middle of that box, but when you start off with like Gemstone Caverns, Urborg, Damnation, like it's really hard to keep up that pace. But honestly, box was pretty good, and it really got topped off by getting the retro frame foil silence. That is beautiful. All right, so final standings here. Seth with 40, Big Red with a 47. GothX with a 39. Down Home, I believe you captured the low with a 31. Ven Corbin captures the high with a 50. And Timothy just misses out with a 35. Down Home, you have the low, you have the honors. Let's see how little Edge of Eternities wants to, what it wants to bring to the party today. There we go. We start with a space-time anomaly in the traditional foil, followed by a exploration brood ship. Next rare is Helia, Guided by Light, in that borderless art. That's a good card. Stellar Sights is a Thespian Stage in the poster foil, which is not Galaxy foil, but it's still a poster foil Thespian Stage. It's decent. And then conclude with the Seriema extended art foil. Okay, not the most explosive EOE pack we've had. Ven Corbin. Your spoils for the high. After that, I did say I had a little story time. If you want to stick around. If not, I completely understand. All right, that is a traditional foil Eternity Elevator, followed by the Vernal Fen. Next up, sure, the Seriema again. Oh, that's a good one. That's sweet. It is a mythic. It is a poster foil, the Dust Bowl, which actually looks really good in that poster foil. I wasn't a huge fan of a lot of these. I'm a fan of this one. That's a cool foil right there. Not Galaxy foil, but still. Poster foil mythic Dust Bowl. It's nothing to sneeze at. And then a borderless foil Arch Enemy's Charm. So I'll just finish up this video by saying I was getting a little bit nervous to the end on the retro frame foil because there was only 4 packs left. But many of you will recall TSR. It likes to make us wait. We had at one point I think a 4-box stretch. I shuffle all the packs at the very beginning, right? And whether it was me opening a box for myself or whether it was me doing like a patron battle, I think we had a 4-box stretch once where the retro frame foil was either in the last pack of the box or in the second to last pack of the box. So while I was getting a little bit more nervous, especially the amount of boxes of these we've opened and thankfully not had a 0 retro frame box, I was like, yeah, this is fine. This is very much up TSR's alley, right? Like, it just likes to make us wait, and that's okay. And then, boom, came the silence. So, anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. And by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody. And be well.